Welcome to my kitchen. Last week's video I made marinara sauce from canned tomatoes because I didn't have any in my garden. But in the last week my 12 tomato plants have been fruitful, to say the least. And I've got a ton of them now, and so I thought this week's video I'd show you what I do with them. Hi, I'm Karen. On my YouTube channel, I demonstrate how to make simple, delicious, and healthy meals fast. I'm also a coach who specializes in helping people who have struggled with their weight for a long time. I myself struggled for over 50 years, repeatedly losing and gaining weight, until I hit on the solution. I've written up the strategies that I used in an ebook, 6 Strategies for Permanent Weight Loss. You'll find a link in the description box where you can download it for free. So now, let's get cooking. The first thing I did, seems obvious, but I put them in a colander and rinsed them off. Then I pulled out a few for slicing and salads, and you can see I have a number of different varieties. And these with the green shoulders, I forget what they are, but they are really good for sandwiches. And the yellow tomato, I think, is a sun gold, and that will go on our salad tonight. The other variety I'd just like to mention, I got these Amish paste tomatoes, and they are the best. They have a great flavor, and I will show you what they look like inside, because they're also not a lot of seeds. Look at that. Beautiful. The garden center had only one plant. I got the last plant they had, and unfortunately they're not very prolific. They have a great tomato, but they don't produce a lot of them. So maybe next year I'll get to the garden center earlier and I'll get some more. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm just cutting these up, and I'll cut a tomato this size into quarters and put them in my pot. I have my tomatoes chopped up now and in my pot, and just to get things started a little bit, to get some moisture out, I'm taking a potato masher and just mushing them a little bit. And you can see it's getting a lot of juice now. So the the tomatoes won't scorch, or you won't have as much scorching if you've got some liquid in there. I'm using my Instant Pot today. Usually I prefer to boil this on the stove. Moisture evaporates and it concentrates the flavor. But I'm filming this in the middle of August, and a tropical storm is making its way up the coast, and it is really humid. So, right now, I don't want any more humidity in my kitchen. I'm using the Instant Pot. In the description box, you'll find a link to the cooking instructions for both the Instant Pot and the stove. Cook on the manual setting for 12 minutes. Now here's the surprise. I have never seen tomatoes with this much moisture in them. Between the Instant Pot limiting the evaporation, and we've had a really wet summer. I think I watered once this summer, about 2 months ago. And this really shows how growing conditions can affect the quality of your produce. Because of the high moisture content, I'm adding an extra step. I don't usually sieve my tomatoes until later.
But I'm doing some of it now because I want to get some of this juice out. And the juice makes absolutely the best soup, so it certainly won't go to waste, that's for sure. I've been gardening for 30 years, and I have never seen tomatoes with this much juice in them. Now, it's time to put them through the food mill. And I'm using the plate with the smallest holes. And you can see that I've ground this absolutely as dry as I could possibly get it. But even this isn't going to go to waste because I'm going to empty this out. It will go into my scrap bag. I will use it to make soup. If you haven't seen that video, there's a link to it in the upper left-hand corner. Even though I've sieved some of the moisture out of it, it's still pretty runny. So I'm going to sieve it a second time. Not going to sieve all of it, but I'd still like to get it a little bit thicker. Right now I am packing this into freezer containers, and I need 7 quarts to fill my canner, and depending on how much time I have, I may can it or I may just leave it in the freezer. If I do decide to can it, I promise I'll film it for you.
The tomatoes I cooked today certainly yielded quite a surprise. And that really goes to show you how growing conditions can really affect the quality of produce. Usually when I'm cooking tomatoes, I get about 1-to-1. That's 1 quart of juice to every quart of sauce. Today it was 2-to-1. I got 3 quarts of juice and 1.5 quarts of sauce. But the advantage is this winter we will have some very good soup. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And while you're at it, subscribe to my channel. If you click on the bell, you'll get a notification every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching.